here is another question from Chris and Zach's first grade class. This question comes from CJ. Did you go to school to learn how to draw? So there's a long story to that. When I was a kid, when I started out, I would have a pencil, paper, crayons, whatever was around to make pictures. And my education primarily started with me copying pictures of things that I liked. So I was a huge Garfield fan. I was a huge Peanuts fan, a huge Calvin and Hobbes fan. And then I would look at those pictures from the comic strips, and I would just try to copy it as best as I could. And a lot of that practice that I did for months and months and years, just years growing up, not realizing that it was something that I did for fun, but also just a valuable lesson in, like fine motor skills and muscle control and being able to see things and understanding how things are laid out and designed. Most of my early education just came from me practicing and being self-taught. My parents, they didn't let me take my parents didn't let me take art classes when I was a kid. So I had this wonderful librarian in grade school, and she pulled me aside and she said, well, Mr. Santat, I know that your parents won't let you take art classes, but that doesn't mean that you can't check out books to teach yourself how to draw. And one of the best books that I ever got that she checked out for me was this book called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, which it was this fantastic book about how to draw superheroes, how to lay out comic panels, how to write a script, basics in perspective. And now there's probably a lot of you that are thinking like, well, I don't even know how to draw a stick figure. I can't do that kind of thing. Well, you're just in luck. You get the book and it starts out with stick figures. And then, you're taking these stick figures and they're showing how to draw gestural lines and understanding form and proportion. And then eventually it goes on to the next steps about like how to visualize a skeleton on this stick figure, and then how to break them out into basic shapes, like your head is a ball, your arm is a cylinder, your torso is, it's a big, just a big wedge. And then you slowly start adding muscles and costumes and facial expressions. And then, before you know it, you can draw a picture of Iron Man drinking Jamba Juice or something like that. I checked out that book. I checked out that book from the school every week to the point where, by the time I finished grade school, the librarian let me keep the book. And to this day, I still have it on my bookshelf. And now my kids, look through it every now and then because, sometimes they want to learn how to draw. And the book's still in publication. So if any of you are interested, you can go out and you can buy the book, or maybe it's in your school library. But yeah, really, my education up to the age of 21, I didn't have any formal art training until I applied to art college. And then when I went to art college, I got into this really great school, the Art Center College of Design. And that was like the first time I ever got any formal drawing lessons or painting lessons. It was the first time I actually painted in acrylics or oils. They also taught us like the basics of woodworking, working with, clay. It was a very well-rounded 2.5-year program, which, was just amazing. And I was surrounded by a whole bunch of, very talented students, and we're still friends. And to this day, you'll go out and you look into the world and you'll see like all the amazing things that your friends are doing these days. And you kind of reflect and you think back, like when you were kids in art school, like, oh my gosh, it's a miracle to see that we're all kind of here in this place, now creating things for the world when, 20 years ago, we were dreaming like, oh, someday people will hopefully like to see the stuff that I make.